Hello, welcome to my channel. Hopefully this microphone is working. If not, I'm done. Anyway, I am just gonna go through a little what I've read recap for the first little bit over half of the year so far, just because it's been a little bit over 50 books, I think. So I just wanted to do a quick recap of everything, more as like a refresher for me, because I tend to forget what I've read. So I think it'll be nice to kind of go back and look at all those books that I read so far and do a quick little recap. Hopefully, fingers crossed, I remember most of them. But I was going to start with the book I read at the beginning, and I have my little list here of everything, starting off with The Women. That was my first read of the year by Kristin Hannah. Can never go wrong with a Kristin Hannah. This one was not what I expected. I don't know what I thought going into it, but a little historical fiction. All of her books are, but I really enjoyed it quite a bit. Recommended it to quite a few people, I think, too. So the next book I read was Homeseeking by Carissa Chin. It was one of my Book of the Month books. And that one, it took a while for me to get into it, but another historical fiction, 2 in a row. But I really did enjoy it too. It was like a lot of Chinese history, which I feel like I haven't read a ton of. So I did enjoy a little bit of that. So like a little long-term, decade-long kind of romance books a little bit, with mainly historical fiction. But then I read First Lie Wins, but honestly not too much. I don't really remember a whole lot about that book, to be honest. Not very memorable. So I think it was just one of those like quick thrillery type books. So who knows? The next book I read was The Wedding People. That another little book of the month that I got. I enjoyed it a lot. I don't remember some of the little plot points. My sister had read it recently and she was texting me like, what the heck, this weird car scene, no memory. So all of the weird bits of that book, no memory, but of the overall story I thought was really good. I really enjoyed it for the most part. Then I read 2 little like silly books in a row. I read The Girl on the Train because I had never seen it or read it. I only seen the movie and it was fine. Just what I expected. And then Ella Enchanted, I listened to that one because I just needed a little something to get me through the day one day. So it was just a silly little children's book, but I liked it. And then I listened to another one, The Woman in Me. I really enjoy listening to like autobiographies and stuff, because a lot of the time that person is reading it, so I feel like they're just telling me about their life, which I enjoy. It's just something nice to listen to while you're driving or something. So I actually listened to 3 autobiography type books this year so far. The Woman in Me, I listened to the 3rd Gilmore, Kelly Bishop's book, which is so good. I really enjoyed it. I didn't know a whole lot about Kelly Bishop's life aside from being in the Gilmore Girls and Dirty Dancing, but that's pretty much it. Oh, and Bunheads. But I had no idea she was so like heavily involved in the making of A Chorus Line, and her story was like part of it, which I found very interesting. So definitely worth the read or the listen like I did. And then I listened to From Here to the Great Unknown, which is Lisa Marie Presley's book about her little bit of her mom, and it was very good. I really enjoyed it quite a bit because she wrote it with her mom like before she passed and after. It was very good. Something I just didn't know. I didn't know a whole lot about like that family or couple or anything until I watched the Elvis movie and then Priscilla, which I enjoyed. But highly recommend those books. They're all very good. But then I read, The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches. That book was on my to-be read list for quite a while just because I liked the little blurbs about it. They said it was like a practically magic type vibe, which I feel like now I'm kind of hesitant when somebody says that because there's been like 3 books that have said that recently, and they're all a bit of a letdown. So, not into that, but it was fine. It was not a whole lot. It reminded me of the House on the Cerulean Sea. It felt similar to that if you read it. So, I don't know. And that book wasn't for me. Then I read Listen for the Lie. Again, don't remember a whole lot. I feel like books like that where it's like kind of a thrillery Frida McFadden type book where it's like you hear part of a story and then the second half or like the middle third it's like a retelling in someone else's perspective. I feel like that's what it was, but honestly no memory. And then Love and Other Conspiracies by Mallory Marlowe. That one was tough for me to read. It was kind of like a romancy rom-com-y book. I struggled to get through the end of that. The beginning was okay, and then it just kind of annoyed me. But I finished it. The Lion Women of Tehran. That one was I really liked the beginning. The middle got all slow, but then the end I really enjoyed a lot. So pretty good. Another historical fiction. So 3 this year so far. It sounds like pretty good. Remarkably Bright Creatures was really, really good. I know it's been like everyone's list. So it's like, oh, great book, and I kind of disregarded it, I think, because of that. So I finally ended up reading it. And I really enjoyed it. I thought it was good. The 3 Lives of Kate Key was another. I think I just saw it on some list somewhere and got it from the library. And I really did enjoy that one as well. A lot more than, I didn't think anything of it, but it was kind of like a mystery thriller type book. Someone changes their identity. It kept me entertained the whole way. Which was good because the next couple of books I read I didn't enjoy so much. It was West with Giraffes. Kind of boring to me. It was recommended to me, so I felt like I should read it, and I struggled to get through it. The only reason I did finish it is because it was recommended to me and I wanted to tell the person that I did end up reading it. But I don't recommend it, honestly. Not very good to me. Very boring. And then I did House of Flame and Shadow, the Sarah J. Maas, the 3rd of that Crescent City series. And it was fine. It was the end of the series. I'm fine with it. It's what it is. A long book. I feel like I liked the first of that series the most, and then the middle one and the last one I just was like, fine. P.S. I Hate You by Lauren Connolly. I really enjoyed this one. I felt like it was my first like rom-com book that I've really enjoyed in a while. It was like hard to put down, that one. I just thought it was funny, and it was sad, but it was like P.S. I Love You kind of, but instead of like romance, it was her brother sending like these notes and things, and it was kind of like an enemies to lovers, I feel like. But something about like the banter and the comedy in it was just really good, so I enjoyed that one quite a bit. Then I read Famous Last Words. That one was pretty good. I honestly don't remember the middle bit, but the beginning and ending were really good. So I enjoyed it. Another quick thrillery read, nothing crazy, something you could do in a day or two. Let's see, then I read One Star Romance, another rom-com-y. I don't remember it a whole lot. I keep mushing it up in my mind with First Time Caller, which I also read not long after that. It's just, I can't remember a whole lot about them. I feel like I liked First Time Caller a whole lot more than One Star Romance, but it's a rom-com book. It's hard to, they're not the best books you ever read, but they're not horrible, so I enjoyed it. Then a couple of duds in a row I read Not What She Seems by Yasmin Ango. I don't know. And I Was a Teenage Slasher. Both were fine. The I Was a Teenage Slasher was kind of weird. It had like some weird fantasy killery stuff. I found recently that my favorite genre of movie is like comedy horror, and I felt like this would be a little bit like that, and it was a bit, but it was just kind of drawn out a bit, so I got bored while I was reading it, but it was fine. Not What She Seems, literally have no memory, don't know what it was, so I can tell you it wasn't that great if I have no memory of it, so at least from my point of view. And then I read The God of the Woods, which I know was on a lot of lists of like best of whatever, and it was pretty good. I really enjoyed it. I read it pretty quickly, even though it's kind of a longer book, but it kept me intrigued the whole time. A little twists and turns in there. Then I did Count My Lies by Sophie Stava. Another one where like Frida McFadden-y, like it's like 3 parts. First bit you get introduced, second bit you're like, oh, who is this? And then the third bit it's like, oh, another twist you never would have guessed, but because you read so many of these you actually do guess. It was one of those books. So it was fine, it was entertaining, kind of got all the way through. Another Kristen Hanna, I read The Nightingale, so another historical fiction about World War II. It's very sad, but very good. I enjoyed it. And then Scythe and Sparrow, another one that I read. It was the third of like the... What was the first one? Like the... Honestly, don't remember. The first one was the best. Second one, not so great. Third one, not as great as the second. So I feel like it gets worse as they went, mostly because I really liked the first one quite a bit. And then after that, yeah, kind of petered out for me. Read Onyx Storm, the third one of the Rebecca Yarros Fourth Wing series. That one, I just really struggled. I feel like, I don't know if it was I just got bored, or if it was so long since I read the second one that I forgot some stuff, or what, but I feel like I was lost a few times through it. Like, I don't remember a lot of plot points. Like, while I was reading it, I had to keep going back, and I don't know if there was like plot holes, or I'm just not great at following that storyline, but I just got lost quite a bit. So it wasn't as good as I hoped, or people kind of hyped it up to be, but I liked the first of that series, and then the whole universe I got lost in it. So I don't know, it just not the best series for me. Someone Else's Shoes, Jojo Moyes, it was fine. I didn't love it, didn't hate it. It kind of reminded me of The Maid. I forget who wrote it, but last year everyone was talking about The Housemaid, which finally I read a couple weeks ago. That's on my list. But I accidentally, from my library, downloaded The Maid instead of The Housemaid. So I think this Someone Else's Shoes reminded me of The Maid, whoever wrote it. So it was fine. Another like thrillery, mystery kind of book, but I don't think there was murder. Just like thievery, stealing, whatever it is. Then I read The Favorites, which my sister recommended. She said it was like one of her new favorite books, just like Olympics and ice skating. It was pretty good. I enjoyed it, read it in a day. It got me hooked. It was like one of those books that is half story, half like interviewee type things, which usually I get lost in, just because I end up like skipping and then going up when I have to read chunks, but just because my brain is so fun. But I did enjoy it a lot, and it was easy to kind of read through, so definitely recommend that. Next was That First Time Caller. Again, I did enjoy that more than the One Star Romance. A cute little rom-com-y type book. The couple in the photos, when I listened to, it was just like an easy listen. One that you can, while you're mowing the grass, I think that's what I did when I was listening. So it's fine, just nothing crazy or super memorable. James is one I finally read. I know it's another one on all those lists, like must-reads. These Goodreads challenges where you get the little bookmarks really gets me through a lot of these books that for some reason, I know when everyone talks about them like they're so amazing, sometimes I don't want to read them for whatever reason. But the Goodreads challenges kind of push me to read those types of books. So James was really good. I had never read Tom Sawyer or Huckleberry Finn, so I didn't really know the story, but I kind of enjoyed that fact that I was just seeing it from his perspective. So I really enjoyed that as well. And then Abby Jimenez, Say You'll Remember Me. Classic Abby Jimenez. Can't go wrong. Easy read. Some things that are kind of funny and weird, and you're like, that could definitely never happen, but you gotta just pretend like it can. So fun, easy read. Then I saw that Ashley Flowers, that crime junkie lady, had written another book, so I figured I'd give it a try. It was fine, nothing crazy good, just another thrillery book with all the similar tropes and things. Usually you can guess what happens, and you did, but it was fine. Then I read Circe. It was another one on those Goodreads challenges. I have another, I forget, Hera, that I have on my shelf that I've been meaning to read, but it's just overwhelming, like a Greek mythology book by the same author, Madeline Miller. So I've been putting it off, and then I saw Circe was on this Goodreads list, so I downloaded it from the library and I read it, and I really, really enjoyed it. I liked learning a little bit of like the Greek mythology and all the different stories kind of put together, centered around the one, like this was around Circe, obviously, and so I really enjoyed it, which got me more ready to read Hera, because I have that physical book, but I still haven't read it yet. But Circe was very good. I really enjoyed it. And then I read Spiral, classic little rom-com. I think it was like a ballet person and a hockey person, maybe. I don't know, one of those sports ones. It was good. It was cute. After that, because I read that, and I had read a couple like longer, heavier, real stories, but like more serious stories, I felt like that more rom-com-y vibe. So I got on a little Tessa Bailey kick and read Hook, Line, and Sinker and Fix Her Up. Just easy, clear your head, don't have to stress about anything. You know what's going to happen. It's all going to end up nice. So I read those after that Spiral, so a little 3 in a row. And then I read Nettle and Bone, which I think that was on one of my Goodreads challenges too, as like a fantasy type one maybe. It was a little weird, harder to follow in a couple spots, but I ended up thinking it was okay in the end. Nothing amazing. I've definitely read better fantasy type books, but it was okay. It's more like a questy one, which I do enjoy when they have like a mission or something. So that's what I felt like it was like. After that, I really got deep into the Zodiac Academy, which my aunt recommended. She said I had to give it at least 3 books in, because there's 9 books, like real books, and then there's a couple like short novellas in there too, but 9 like core books in it. She said give it to the first 3 before you make your decision. So I read the first one, The Awakening, and I was a little hesitant at first, like she said, but then after the second one, I was hooked and could not put it down. It's invaded my entire life. It's all I think about, and I have to stop myself from reading. Like, I'll have to like just stop in the middle of like a paragraph, or else I'll just keep reading and put off what I'm trying to do. So I recommend it a lot. It's long. It's got a lot of spice in there, but I think the story is really good, and like you get really invested in all the characters. And my aunt has been checking in with me, especially after book 7, because she's like, book 7, that's like the biggest cliffhanger, and you're gonna get upset, whatever. And I'm in the middle of 8 right now, but after 7 I was like gutted. It's very good. I can't recommend it enough. There isn't been another fantasy series that I've loved as much as this one. Like, all the Sarah J Maas, trash to me compared to this book. Like, it's so good. Love the series. 10 out of 10. Highly recommend. Not for everybody, but like, can't say enough positive things about it. Love it. So that was, I've read all the way, like I said, through book 7, and then a couple of the novellas in there as well. So we'll see how 8 and 9 go. I'm going to be devastated when I finish, because I won't see those characters anymore. So that'll be quite sad, but it's fine. And then I read Rebel Witch. It was the second after Heartless Hunter, which I read last year. I think it was last year. And I really enjoyed it, so I've been looking forward to the second. I didn't enjoy it as much as the first. It was still good. But the first one really was really, really good to me. The second one was just kind of slower. I'm assuming there'll be a third, so we'll see how that goes. Then I read Everyone on This Train is a Suspect. It's the second of this other book. I think Everyone in My Family is a Killer is what it's called. It was very, very similar, just like a whodunit type Agatha Christie-esque murdery book. So it was funny, and pretty okay. Nothing amazing, but then I read We Could Be Rats. That one, it was part of the Goodreads challenge, and I really enjoyed it. It was like a suicide note attempts is the first half of the book, and then you kind of figure out the rest of the story in the second half. So kind of sad, but there's like, she tries to keep it like jokes, like the suicide notes keep mentioning, like keeping it more like, I don't know, it was very good. Unexpected, but very good. And then I read My Friends, which is another one that I really enjoyed. I didn't know anything going into it, but it was a really good story about like friendship and this artist's life, and I really, really enjoyed it. I recommend it quite a lot. Very good. I kind of compared it before to A Little Life, way less sad, but kind of a similar vibe and a lighter version of that to me. I read a couple more of those Zodiac books, and then I read Feels Like Falling. It was one that I was given to read, just a beach read. Didn't love it, didn't hate it. It was just a fine, easy beach read. Another Goodreads got me to read Before the Coffee Gets Cold, which it's like a story where people go back in time, and they could only go back in this certain seat in this little coffee shop, and it's told in I want to say like 3 or 4 different stories of people. It was really good. I really enjoyed it. Very short, easy read, but interesting, all the little stories there. Then, like I said, read The Housemaid, so I got caught up on that, ready for that movie with Sydney Sweeney. It was fine. I didn't think it was amazing. It was just like a classic Frida McFadden. You know exactly what's going to happen. Not really, but like you know that there's going to be a twist. Something crazy is going to happen. And then I recently read The Soulmate by Sally Hepworth. I read that because I read The Darling Girls, and I enjoyed that last year. So I figured I'd give another one of her books a shot. And it was good. I don't honestly, even though I read it like 3 or 4 weeks ago, I honestly don't remember a whole lot of it. I had got it from the library and had to read it before my hold expired, and I was really honestly just trying to get through that book so that I could finish my Zodiac Academy book. So honestly don't remember a whole lot, but what else did I read? To All the Boys I Loved Before. I'd seen the movie, never read the book, so I figured I'd just read it. It's exactly what you'd expect it to be, a little Jenny Han, easy read. Another Sally Hepworth, The Younger Wife. That one, I like that one more than The Soulmate. I think it was interesting. Another one that's, her stories are kind of similar, I feel like, to Frida McFadden, like the third end twist, and you just read the different perspectives, and but I thought it was interesting. And then I just recently finished Great Big Beautiful Life, that Emily Henry book. I went into it with low expectations because everybody that I've heard reviews and talked about, they're mostly saying it was kind of a letdown and they didn't like it and blah blah blah. But I went in like with low expectations. I didn't assume it was going to be great, but I really enjoyed it. It was very similar to like the 7 Husbands of Emily Hugo, whatever that 7 Hugo Wee book was. Kind of similar to that, but it was a cute little Emily Henry book. Less heavy on the romance than other stories, so I enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. So I actually finished that this morning. So now I get to finish book 8 of the Zodiac Academy series, and I'm also reading 3 Bags Full, which is one I've heard is good. It's like a detective-y series with sheep. It's kind of hard to get into. I think I'm like 20% in. I think that's what my Kindle said. I don't know, like 70 pages in. So we'll see how it goes. Like I said, a little hard to get into, but that's where I'm at right now. So about like 50-ish, 60-ish books in so far. Most of them have been pretty good, it seems. Really killing the historical fiction this year, which I've been enjoying. So we'll see. Thanks for doing a little recap of midway through 2025. Goodbye.